Welcome back. I'm Casey Campbell with Great Lakes Post as well as WJR 760 AM in Detroit. And we are pleased to be joined by Jack Wood, the driver of the number 24 Chevrolet for GMS Racing. And it was just announced today that you're going full time in the number 24 Chevrolet for GMS Racing in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How about yourself? It's an exciting day for me. So I'm glad to be able to come on here and talk to you about it.
Yeah, it's a pretty exciting day. Of course, boy, this is no one's had the crazier year that you had this year. And before we get to that and just kind of going through that, I asked you before. I was thinking about the journey that you've been on. I asked you what were you doing 2 years ago at this time, and you told me what?
Oh, I was leaving work at the Mercedes dealership I used to work at back home. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm glad you brought that up because that's kind of brings everything full picture. It's pretty cool to look at the journey that my life and the path has taken and to see where I am today. It still blows me away.
So you were not 2 years ago. You weren't even doing any racing or anything like that. Were right? Or maybe
I was racing. Yeah, I was definitely racing. It was just
Yeah.
a much different type.
Oh yeah.
I was kind of back and forth between working at the shop, and then I had a couple different jobs that I had throughout my younger years. But yeah, it's I don't know. I keep pinching myself all day long. It's pretty cool to think the opportunity that I've been gifted. So.
Do you ever have you ever thought about that? It's especially with last year I know you were running some ARCA West for your family owned team. And then this year has been quite the whirlwind for you. You started off in ARCA East, and then you were full-time ARCA, and then midway through May, and then obviously with everything that happened with Rafi, you got the opportunity at GMS to go in at Coda. What a place to make your debut at for trucks. And then you're going to run the rest of the season besides Bristol. Doug Kobe will be in there.
Yep.
And now you're full-time in the truck series.
Yeah. It's like I said before, it's insane. I mean, the path, my life over my whole life, but I mean really over the last 8 months, and like you were saying, how much change that has happened. And going from running the E series to the ARCA top series, and then part-time trucks, and now here we are getting ready for the next season and I'm full-time trucks. So it's crazy. I'm so thankful for the opportunity that I've been given and people taking a chance on me. So, if you would have told me, 3 years ago that number one, I'd be living in North Carolina. Number two, I'd be racing in North Carolina. And the number three, I'd be driving the truck for the top truck team. I wouldn't believe you. So it's still blows me away to this day. And, just like I said before, I'm so extremely thankful.
The Jack Wood story continues. It's quite a good one. You can write a book after this and be like, this is how it's started. I mean, it's like it's a full page of everything that happened. And I know that somebody that's meant a lot to you, and someone that really has spearheaded this together is Ryan Reed. I know he's been a big part in when putting this deal together for you, as well as being kind of your driver coach as well as your manager. What has he meant to you in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at where me and Ryan were at a year ago today, when he was coming out to my races on the West Coast, he was really just kind of a driver spotter mentor. And when we made the decision that I was going to move my entire life out to the East Coast in North Carolina, he changed from just being some guy that I work with to being really my best friend. He has made this whole process so much easier because he's been doing this his whole life and he's been out here for a long time. So he's been a huge resource to me, not as just a race car driver, but as a young man, and helping me grow and be comfortable in this extremely uncomfortable environment. So I owe a lot of everything that's happening in my life right now to Ryan, and what he's been able to help me with. I'm gifted by having, being surrounded by a lot of great people. That's within house at GMS. That's with my family at home, and that's with my friends out here, and Ryan being one of them. So
I've gotten to know you a lot this year, and this is the first time I've seen you really, really excited about something.
yeah,
And this is the most exciting. I see you kind of getting emotional a little bit, kind
yeah,
of talking
oh yeah.
about it. It's is this one of the I don't know where I know you've had a lot of things happen to you in your life and stuff, but where does this rank up there?
Oh, without a doubt, it's number one. I mean, this is, I mean, it's like when I was racing legends and late models and go karts. I mean, I was never really, honestly, that good, and there's kids that would kick my butt in a legend car or a go kart, and I stuck with it and I didn't give up, and it's pretty cool for me to look back on my whole life, and when I was playing soccer and baseball and I was doing all the other things, racing was still a really big part of my life, and I just never gave up on it. So um, the last 8 months of my life have been the most difficult because of the challenges that I'm putting myself through, but at the same time, they've been the most rewarding. And if this all ends at the end of 2022, which I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen, but if it did, this is still going to be one of the most influential and important years of my life. So
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely been good. So, how did this deal kind of get put together?
yeah, so I mean, it's all been kind of crazy. It's kind of been the same story, same song ever since I moved out here.
Yeah.
But I think, the management at GMS and, Maury Gallagher being one of them, the folks over at Chevrolet, I think they were excited about the growth that they've seen. I mean, I'm 7 truck starts in and I just got a top 10 at Gateway. So I think the path that we're on is really good. There's huge steps to take and a lot more to learn, but I think they believe in me, and that's pretty cool. So I think when they saw that, I was doing all the right stuff on and off the racetrack and really putting in a lot of hard work, I think they're willing to take a chance on me. So and I found that out, and we were able to move on and turn this into a part-time deal to a full-time deal next year. So
Yeah, it's definitely good. How important is it to have someone believe in you?
it is huge. The one of the biggest shocking things for me when I moved out here was just how hard it is. I don't think people really realize unless you're, very, very involved in the sport. The pressure that you're under, the environment itself, just, extremely competitive. I think, if you can surround yourself with the right people, especially, I'm only 21 years old. So to be able to surround myself with the right people that believe in me and kind of help keep me going, because it's definitely hard. It's definitely easy to get beat down. I mean, I had those 3 races in a row with, Pocono, Knoxville, and Watkins Glen, where it was
Yeah.
definitely not how I wanted to
Ah,
be doing, and just was able to keep my head down, and now we get to leave Gateway with the top 10 and be back on the upside of stuff. So having people believe in you, even at home back in California, and then surrounding myself with the right people out here has been a very instrumental part to what I'm doing.
did you think about? Did you like? If you ever like, did you think you were going to do this and be have a full time truck ride by the time you're 21 years old?
No, I had no idea. It's, I don't know. It's kind of, I'll go back to what I said earlier. It's pretty crazy to me. And, I still feel like I am living part of a dream. I definitely am living my dream, but yeah, I mean, if you would have told me this is what I've been doing when I'm 21 years old, I wouldn't have believed you. So it's all pretty awesome.
Did you did you get emotional? Did you cry or something like that? I don't know how if you're an emotional guy
Yeah.
or not, but
No, I didn't cry at all. I think, the first thing I probably did was call my dad. He's been a huge part of my career as a race car driver, but also of just my manhood and growing up. So I definitely gave him a call and talked about it for a while. So he's been by my side since, I was go karting to all the way up till now. So it's pretty cool to be able to share that moment with him And, I think both of us are just extremely excited for, what's coming on the pipeline my way.
Yeah. Okay. So you got your first top 10 at WWT Raceway, or as some people like to call it Gateway.
Yep.
And then you're heading to Darlington next week. And we all know how interesting that place can be. With this news, how confident are you about having a good run there at a really, really tough racetrack like Darlington?
I don't know. It's hard to tell, but the truck series is so competitive nowadays that for someone like me that's going to all these racetracks for the first time, and especially, you don't get any practice or qualifying, your first lap on the track is, I'm going to be 7th row outside, so it's going to be kind of crazy. But, at the same time, there's all the resources that I have away from the racetrack that allow me to prepare for these types of things. I don't know. I think we're gonna do our best. I'm gonna be starting better at Darlington than I was at Gateway, which is gonna help quite a bit. And there's gonna be some more things we can do with different pit strategy and stuff, because we're not really looking for stage points at this point. We're kind of looking for top fives and maybe a win. So every time I get to go to the racetrack, I'm excited. And going to somewhere like Darlington is gonna be pretty cool for me. So
yeah. Well, Jack Wood, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us. I know this is a very, very big day, a very important day for you. And if I'm on here any longer, I think you might get emotional and start crying. So
yeah.
Congratulations, buddy. You deserve it, man. And good luck at Darlington, bud.
Yeah. Thank you, Casey. I appreciate it.